Hello, today I'm going to talk about this little 50cc motorbike. It is an Italian motorbike from 1972. The brand is Lambrae, which is quite rare apparently, because I tried to search about it on Google and couldn't find anything. Yeah, but they were not quite so rare here in Malta. I know other Lambrae like this one. Only two other, but anyway. This bike is somewhat special for my family. It was the first motorcycle my dad rode on the streets. He had two previous bikes when he was small. It was, I think, a Velocette and a Victorian, but this was his first bike that he actually rode on the streets. So it has some historical importance for our family. This one shares the same engine with a number of other small capacity bikes, Italian bikes most especially, like for example the Testi and Fantic Motor. For example, I love that bike. The Fantic Motor was a 70s 50cc chopper. I will post a picture of it as well so that you can see it. So this one has the same Motori Minarelli engine. But the company which built the bike apparently was called Lambre. I don't know if it is actually the same one as Testi and was issued with a different name for our market as Lambre. But it shares a lot of similarities. It has a lot of similarities with Testi. So basically it's a Testi. It is also very close to the Testi Grand Prix Sport, which is quite similar, but this one was issued with handlebars like this, and the Testi Grand Prix Sport was issued like a cafe racer look, like it is now, but we will change the handlebar when we restore this bike. Obviously, it's not the correct way how it is. There were also other Testi which used the same frame basically, and has similar things, like for example the Testi Champion. There were some which had a P4 engine and a P6 engine. This is a P4. This has a P4 Motori Minarelli engine. So it is with 4 gears. Then there were also the P6, which was with 6 gears and was even faster than this one. It is apparently quite, it performs quite well as a 50cc. My dad told me some stories. He used to like compete with the Honda C70s and used to keep head-to-head with them, and maybe in the long run the 70 would reach a bit of higher top speed. But anyway, but if one look at the P6 motorbikes, they perform even greater, even better. They are faster. I mean, there were some who were used then for racing, so not this one, but yes, the others were quite fast. Our plans for this one is to be restored. So to be restored with racing exhaust probably, and with clip-ons or with a low handlebar. So I want this cafe racer look. But other than that, I want it original with the original fenders, and the seat would be put down to go on the frame. Yes, the fork, this one is not its original fork. Its original fork was bent, so we will try to find another original fork, but at least for now we have this, I think, Peugeot. This is, I think, a Peugeot fork, at least measures perfectly. Going back to my father's ownership, he had 3 of these. This was his first Lambrae, and he had other 2 Lambraes. This one was brown in color, and the other 2, he had one of them which was red with metallic flakes apparently, and the other one I can't remember, but I think it was either red or brown like this one. Yeah, so we would like basically to restore it and have fun with it and keep it in our collection. Now I am going to give a brief explanation about the manufacturer of this engine, Motori Minarelli. Motori Minarelli was established back in 1951 by 2 figures, Franco Morini and Vittorio Minarelli. The company was not named Motori Minarelli, it was named Fabbrica Bolognese Motocicli, but then in 1956 the 2 split. And in 67 Minarelli continued to produce these engines under the name of Motori Minarelli. Their focus was agricultural engines as well as small capacity engines, like for example 50 cc's and 125s. Mainly 2-stroke, so it was a 2-stroke type of manufacturing. Between during the 70s and the 80s, the Motori Minarelli had made 4 manufacturer titles, so records, as well as won 2 125cc world champions. So even the production boomed during the 1970s and early 80s basically. During the 90s it continued to grow, and the engines were produced because they were, as I also stated, they were engine manufacturers, so they provided engines for other motorcycle companies. For example, for MBK, Aprilia, even for a sector of Yamaha, Malaguti, Beta, and also Riejo as well. So during the 90s there was this boom of production as well. Then during the 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, there was some financial problems, and back in 2002 Yamaha took ownership of Motori Minarelli. They continued to produce engines, and also introduced the production and manufacture of a 4-stroke engine up to 660 cc. So yes, some engines by Yamaha now is done by this subsidiary company, Motori Minarelli. One shall mention a record, for example, which is quite impressive, even by today's standard. For example, in 1971, the Motori Minarelli Carlotta, a bike built by Motori Minarelli, broke the flying kilometer record by a 173 cc bike, so a 175 basically, which reached a top speed of 193 km per hour, 120 miles per hour. So it is very impressive. I will put also a photo of it on the video. Other manufacturers which used this engine exactly like this one. As I mentioned, there were many other companies, but I was impressed that even Indian, the American company, had issued a 50cc with this exact engine, and instead of Motori Minarelli there was Indian written. At times I was doubting myself if it was real or somebody made it, but apparently yes, there were Indian 50cc Indians with this type of engine issued with the Minarelli engine. So yeah, it was great to see. I love Indian motorcycles, even though I have never owned one. Yeah, thank you for watching.